Now that we got a sense of each of the three types of transformations, how they look on the pictures, now it's time to combine several of them together. We've actually already done a little bit of this during our applied learning, and now we're looking at it a little bit further. Here's the general steps to determine a series of transformations, meaning more than one transformation. Use the characteristics of what you know of translations, reflections, and rotations to make an educated guess. Then test your path. Does it work? If it does, great. If it doesn't, then make corrections to it and try again. Basically, this entire lesson is about guessing and checking, but guessing in a smart way because you know what reflections look like and translations and rotations. So judging by the picture, you should be able to guess what transformations occurred. So an example of a response that I'm looking for is the figure is translated right 5 and reflected over the x-axis. Now taking what we know, let's do some practice. Can you find a path of transformations that occurred? Use what you know about the three types of transformations and guess a path, and test it if it works. If it doesn't, then make adjustments as you need. For this one, it'll take at least 2 transformations. And remember, there's always multiple paths to take. There isn't a one answer. Here is the picture, and go ahead and pause the video. So a possible response for this one is if the figure is reflected over the x-axis and translated right 5. Test if that works. It should. Did you find another one? For the second one here, again, use what you know and test your path and make changes as you need. Can you find 2 different paths for this one? Go ahead and pause. So one transformation that works is a rotation of 180 degrees. That's one transformation. The second one is a series. You can reflect over the y-axis, then reflect over the x-axis. Likewise, you can reflect over the x-axis first, then the y-axis. Either of these work. So there's something to realize here. A 180-degree rotation is the same thing as reflecting twice over the axes. Here is our final exercise. And go ahead and pause the video. This one can be a little bit tricky. One that's a little bit easier of a path to see is a rotation of 180 degrees. Then translate it left 5 and down 1. And again, there are different paths you can take. Maybe yours also work and that's different from mine. So here's a challenge for everyone. Going back to those 3 exercises previously, try to find other paths that work. You can click on this symbol at the top of the Google Slides to create a text box to add a second response. The more paths you find, then the more comfortable you will be. All right, great work. So we have reached our second checkpoint. How do we determine transformations that occurred? So here's a sentence frame for you to summarize your learning. First, we observe blank. Using what we know about blank, we blank. Again, you can take words from the word bank to help formulate your thinking. So tomorrow will be our practice test, and the next day after, we'll be doing our Unit 1 assessment. Keep practicing, and you should be fine.